Sup bitches and welcome to the Combined Syndicates of America, where the Civil War is finally drawing to a close. Oh, excuse me. The Coast Guard. Push. As soon as you cross the river, the easier it's gonna be to pass through. Boom. Los Angeles troops, you can try and push, you can then just push into the... I've actually pushed across the river, and I'm about to finally push into San Fran. Though they managed to get one reinforcement before I could arrive. Need like a good chunk of you to just head down here and help crush these dudes. Okay, when do you arrive? Now, and then you attack. Great. So you can hold. You can head up there. I can fly my planes into here. Oh, excuse me. And now you're here. Almost all of you are. Except you dudes. Now you're here as well. Now. When is your operational? A base of inefficient supply. How bad is... Okay, my supply is apparently really bad down here. Really bad. This is the last choke point. Oh, you know, I could try to fix the current infrastructure. Fuck Virginia, fuck Penn, fuck Southern, fuck Idaho, fuck Montana, Washington, Northern California, Los Angeles. There we go. Come on, it's just 3 divisions. You wanna send volunteers to me? Sure. Boom. Just move in there and help. Listen up, bitches. This one doesn't seem to have a front line. Yeah, front line shall now be established here. Then this is the blue front line. Not this part of it at least. These purples has this part of the front line. You 5 motherfuckers can be re-established up to here. You can get it wide. Engage. How much supply do they have in here? 15 and 20. Don't need to have loads. Yeah. I knew so. Aha. You can get in circle with me seeming offensive and then getting control of Southern California as well. Which would lead to me controlling every single province. Goddammit, they've retaken Guantanamo, or Santamo, or whatever the fuck it's pronounced. Just hold. I almost had seized everything from them. But they have practically zero manpower, so that's also a good thing. I love how Small's arms industry migrated to them. God damn it. Okay, how many troops ended? 2. Will you please keep the spearhead going? Jesus Christ, my front lines are a mess. Collapse of the Pacific States. It appears that the Pacific States government, on its last legs in the American Civil War, already most of its lands have been swallowed up by the combined syndicates of America and other American factions. And what is left is but the last remnants of its army, now demoralized and suffering from mass desertions, but holding out against all hope that a miracle might save them. Some leaders have already met with it. They deserve everything they get. I didn't even have to take San Fran. I just had to seize the Los Angeles area, Southern California, Northern California, Oregon, and Washington. And then I didn't even need the San Fran area. There we go. Take all states, bitches. The Civil War has finally fucking ended. Here we go. Now, begin to produce close air support as well. And support equipment. Even more. Early interwar destroyer. Deployed to the Red Navy as well. But the Civil War has ended. I need to produce convoys. There we go. You can produce 100. You can produce 100. You can produce like 30. The end of the Second American Civil War. What could have been the greatest capitalist oppressor of the 20th century is now firmly under control of the working class. Throughout the country, the working class celebrates liberation from the desperation of the bourgeois masters. While there is still much to do today, we can celebrate this victory and savor the air of an America where, for the first time, each man is truly equal. Solidarity forever. Now I just have to take care of this shit. These things. And this is what's left of my army. 17 divisions. You can form up with New England. As soon as you're done, then rebuilding the country shall begin. Because the Civil War is over. The Great American Revolution is over, but unless something is done, the wounds that we have torn open in this country will continue to fester and bleed. We must work with the haste to build up an egalitarian, equal, and enduring America from the ruins of the old. I apparently have more troops. I have 1 division that formed up what? Well, Up here. We can fly over to Atlantic. I have 0 available. There we go. Time to rebuild the country. It is... There we go. Recovery from the Civil War. While we may have won the Civil War, our country is in ruins. Most people are forced to barter electricity, running water, and other basic services barely function, and millions are starving or ill, especially thousands and thousands of orphans. Economic devastation from the Civil War. Overwhelming federalist resistance. While we may have won the war against the federal government, we have not won the minds of its inhabitants. Federal territories attack railroads and factories and indiscriminately kill our loyal soldiers and policemen. And overwhelming longest resistance. It's the same, just with longest instead of federalist. So... Oh, piss off, would ya? So, yes. The world has descended into chaos. What do? You're fighting that, and you have invited Canadian advisors. You can't have very high legitimacy up here. Okay. Something is fucking with my mouse. So I really need to deal lots of these things. Wait, I still own Guantanamo Bay. Longest bombings. We'll crush those terrorists. The Panama Canal has been seized by, you know, Panama, who's not in affection. You can't see it, but I'm grinning. I'm grinning very, very much. Why is a paternal autocrat in affection with other socialists? This is kind of funny. Maximist, syndicalist, radical socialists. Authoritarian Democrats, not paternal autocrats, sorry, almost the same thing. Mexico should like me. End of the second international and military axis. American opinion. Military axis and end of the second. Jack Reed. God damn it, the Federalists also sabotage things. Yeah, 1 stability, 7 war support. But I have 61% support for my faction. Oh, and 3 Strauss, and 3 Lee. I'm gonna totally rush these 2. Trial of the American first. Trial of the old government, transformative justice. We have this one. This one, this one, this one, this one. And New America. Oh, it's a champagne bottle popping. And then of course we shall. Second conventional constitution. Commonwealth of Labour. Yeah, it's now just roll your fingers until we've reconstructed this nation. But hey, at least I've laid claim to all of the resources. Oh, nice. Red Buffalo soldiers popped up here. Oh, it's because I'm still training troops there. That makes sense. They like support equipment, all of them. Then it's good I'm producing support equipment. Thanks. Maybe I've never really nearly closely studied the American one. There's the Pershing. The T-95. German T-20. The Pat. We shall rebuild this country. And we shall do it great. We have fought many battles. We have thrown off the Commonwealth of Canada. after we crushed the Federalists, then we were pushing back the American Union state when the treacherous Canadians stabbed us in the back. So we had to turn around and push them back. Meanwhile, over in the Rockies, we were busy holding the Pacific states back from pushing into the Great Plains. But while we were busy dealing with the Canadians, the American Union state had plunged up and seized Washington and Philadelphia. So after they had surrendered and ceded Alaska back to their rightful owners, we turned around and plunged our dagger, pushed and pushed and pushed them down. Meanwhile, in the sense of we managed to push down and seize New Orleans, which eventually led to the crushing and destruction. The crushing and the destruction of our great enemy, the American Union state. Then we turned our gaze westward and pushed over the Rockies, pushed and pushed and pushed, until we finally arrived and crushed them all. Why did time go while I went at that eulogy about our nation's history? The Ulster's ultimatum. Premiere of God Save the Kaiser. Today, Charlie Chaplin has premiered another movie titled God Save the Kaiser, which has quickly received glowing reviews from the press. God Save the Kaiser is a political, satirical drama on Chaplin's first true sound film. Oh, it's this universe version of, what is it called? The Little Dictator, something. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but there was also one of us about where he made fun of where Charlie Chaplin in our universe was played a Jew who got mistaken for Hitler. Quite a fun movie actually, though it ends up being quite depressing at the end with the speech. And invigorating. Well, Chaplin has outdone himself. The Ulster's Ultimatum. After months of low-intensity skirmishes and diplomatic game-playing on the German-French border, the two behemoths are poised on the edge of apparently the most brutal conflict mankind have known since the dark days of the Weltkrieg. They have demanded the return of Alsace-Lorraine, and they denied, as I guessed. This time the Germans seems to be at one of the strongest, since they also control the Netherlands. And Spain has not joined up with the French. They are now though, they are approaching the Commune. And I cannot help them out. They have to hold out until I can intervene. The Second Weltkrieg. War never changes. It's also broken out over here. The Empire of Japan preparing to invade. They are already fighting but you have established them as an independent. Defend democracy, military centralism. Bureaucratic. Against great islands, trade discretion, foreign motor companies. Regulate as much of industries, central railway. Interesting. I wonder how I got that small arms industry. No. Look, the rebuilding has officially begun. Let's begin reconstruction. Decision: replace light civil war recovery with fleeting recovery from the Civil War. Unlocks rebuilding the country decision. Reconstruction, which grants repair speed, construction speed, and lowered construction speed. Slight recovery. While we have stopped the cholera epidemics and famines, most of the country is still on fire. The only place one can find any modicum of stability is the heavily guarded military depots containing the newly devised delivered famine relief aid and medicine. And now we begin reconstruction. The Civil War has blasted our country to pieces, Large parts of the rural country are naught but mud and ashes, while countless cities have been reduced to smoldering rubble. We shall set to work developing new housing and infrastructure as soon as possible. This time let's make sure that don't rise any sentiments again. The South has risen twice now. It won't rise again. Not this time. This time they're not coming. There's no coming back. But why would they want to? My one elite troop, yeah. That's funny enough also the only one who has high enough level to do that. It's a war cruiser, deployed to the Red Navy. Wait, but why am I building? Okay, yeah. You can focus on building super heavy. But why am I building you and not you? Then those last two ones can go to just building these. Do I actually have any factories now? Nope. I have 72 civilian factories, and I'm using 72 civilian factories. Most of it actually comes from civilian economy. Until India declared war on that now you can be deployed. How much more support equipment do they need? 360. How much do they need? 7? It's not that bad. Revolutionary Continental Army. Revolutionary Mobile Divisions. Whoa, they're so revolutionary. It's not like my regular motorized divisions are better. Revolutionary armor, revolutionary armor. Okay, you know what, I'm gonna set it like this. You get deployed there, join that army. 1, 2, 3. The rest of you can deploy up here. You shall not join any army, because you shall form your own under this dude. Your eventual job shall be to guard this entire area. Of course, I should also deploy another one who should guard the Detroit crossing and the Michigan crossing. I have so little rubber that I'm not producing any close air support, like at all. You can get moved over. No. Yeah, because you're used to upgrades and you're just gunning in store, so yeah. Deal with the Feds. Since the revolution broke out, we've accumulated an extensive list of political prisoners whom are awaiting trial. Now that the war is over, it is time to judge those men has finally come. Although some amongst our leadership believes in rehabilitating those captives, others more radical comrades are eagerly calling for an extreme revolutionary justice. Huey Long's foul crew of reactionary demagogues, heartless industrialists and tyrannical generals are finally to stand on trial. Although the Kingfish himself has escaped capture, will eagerly dish out fair punishment to everyone who collaborated with him. Oh, here it came. Social revolution adopts it improves the recovery. Reconstruction is over. Destroy Jim Crow. Longest terrorists. We shall destroy the terrorists fighting for the old government. Improved worker conditions. Nah, I have other things to use this on. like upping to you, so I might get some factories. I have some factories. Somebody get the confetti. The Russian Empire declared war on the Tsardom of Finland. Yeah, being health repaired daily. I guess. At least they're getting repaired. I now have 10 stability. Wait, what? Oh, I see Belarus had wait a bit. Belarus have joined the Russians, I guess. Belarus seems to be fighting against the German Empire now. They probably had a revolution of some kind. You're all, oh well, you're social conservatives, you're social conservatives, and you're social conservatives. But you still powered out to a Libertarian Democrat? I guess. You have soon crushed the Republic of Iran, and you're also pushing into Turkey. I wonder what these Reconstruction decisions are. Probably rationing or something like that. Civilian construction speed. Yeah, I don't need to build all of this actually. Well, shall we watch how the war develops in Europe? The Commune have pushed into Alsace-Lorraine and Nancy, and is currently pushing into Bergen and Württemberg, but they're getting pushed up in Poitou-Lorraine and into Pas-de-Calais. So it's kind of a whoop whoop. Oh, Austrian Empire have actually unified. The Syndicalist menace. I don't know why, but I read it as the Syndicalist meme. Begin Reconstruction. Down. Trial of the old government. What is this Reconstruction? Rebuild New England. I don't have New England. Rebuild the South. Wait, they're not currently called states. No, they're colony states. Rebuild the South. Build the South Atlantic. Rebuild the West. Rebuild the Rock. Rebuild the Pacific Coast. Rebuild the South Atlantic. That's Maryland, Delaware, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida. So it's just the East Coast. Plus West Virginia. But I need 80 political. How much am I gaining? 0.62. Reconstruction. Bleeding. Recovery of the Civil War. But it's time we deal with the feds. I could really use some more PP. Elizabeth Gully Flynn. Roger not done. Caliph. Utopia Sam. Mixed Economy. Steven Nelson. Totalist. Secret Police Chief. Blah. The fall of Petrograd? The Finns have taken Petrograd and encircled this one province in Karelia, but they've almost lost control. They're just holding on to control of Stella. Of course, they don't own Pestmo in this timeline. Because now they're being pushed, and the Republic of France seems to be very eager to push down here across here. Then Württemberg, they're now in Ostbayern. They've actually seized Munich. I'm surprised they haven't walked into Austria yet. God damn it, longists. Just as the federal lets up, then the longists come around. Building a navy. Fast battleships, dreadnought, armored cruisers, destroyers, submarines, trade convoys. You are being used to upgrades. You almost recovered all. You have loads in storage. Excuse me. No. Let's import just some rubber. Like not for all my factories, just for most of them. Like this. Except as you push it down under there. Because you would still mass produce them even though you lack quite a bit of rubber. Landing craft. 1940. Improved learning machine. Or computing machine. What should we go? I think we should try and rehabilitate some of the fats. After all, they are not the longest. Should I go with this 24 what division? Blues HP horn. I could also move that one. Not worth it to remove it. And I have enough towed artillery. Or I could. I after all have so much that I could turn it into full 40 with. Oh well, not a full 40 with. Since these two would need to be anti-tank, and then I would add another infantry one to there. I have enough to do that. Oh, what? Slaughter police? They've killed 3,000 police officers? Jesus Christ, they try really hard, don't they? I swear, if you manage to kill 3,000 people overnight, oh, I'm not even mad, I'm just impressed. Like, how do you even do that? Oh, but you have war goal. Guatemala has annexed war goals against Nicaragua. All of these has against Nicaragua. That's probably because you betrayed the revolution. I would like to seize the Panama Canal, thank you very much. And the winner is... I can do that at a later point. Yeah, lend leasing to the French. Ooh, I've soon built up all of you. Simonazzi. The Reds have won the game. The final game was close. There we go. Your old infantry division. At least you are now. Don't need revolutionary armor. Probably kept them because they're probably better than mine. Heavy cavalry. No. No need. Because one divisions are using it. There we go. Train divisions. Reinforcement still priority. 13th divisions. Montana to this front line once. There we go. I'm preparing to invade New England and the Commonwealth of Canada again. I want over here. This one. Town hall democracy. Yeah. The revolution continues to spread socialism through the Americas. I have to ask, do these give... Many of these give political power. Political power. A lot of them give political power. So that's probably where I'll get most of my rebuilding from. Let's rebuild the country in order to bring the fruits of revolution throughout the country. Deal with the feds. France, for fuck's sake. You've been pushed back from Munich. Russia's getting pushed back out of there at least. Ukraine is a puppet of Mahrik, and that is Mongolia also. And Mahrik seems to be a quite stable power. Or at least quite a victorious one. I love how Portugal managed to fend off Deutsche Mittelafrika in this one. That always makes me happy. And now I have 0 manpower. And I'm losing manpower monthly. Okay, sure. That definitely seems fake, but sure. And now this axis is at war with Brazil and Uruguay. Or at least you are. You haven't called in all of your other Buenos Aires Lima axis. You have now. And now the Commonwealth of Canada has declared war on the Union of Britain. Which means you're gonna get drawn in. There you go. You got drawn in. I'm gonna draw my battle plan for you. Should be to push up here and seize all of New England. Some of your dude's job should literally just be to seize Vancouver. Because seizing Vancouver and then Ottawa and Montreal is enough to make them surrender, probably. They can all be deployed now. Union vacations. With the revolution one of the changes that has come to the transformation in terms of vacation. The workers of America rarely got to enjoy all the luxuries that were created, and the progressives would say belong to the people. How many of those struggling masses got to enjoy picnics or visiting the national parks when they had to work as many hours just to survive and feed their children? No longer is this the case. The various local unions across the country, regardless of which federation they belong to, have begun to take over and manage various cultural centers, as well as help sponsor vacations. This is supported by the government at both local level and national level as a way to boost productivity and encourage comradeship. Indian Revolution Committee. The native people of America have long been mistreated by the old capitalist government. They stole their land for the greedy capitalists to earn a profit. However, now that we have done away with the old capitalist government, we can address the issue of the Indians. Thus, the Indian Revolution Committee has been created. The IRC will work with local tribes and communities about how to handle the abuses that the capitalist governments did and how the revolution in the last years can be implemented in their territory. The revolution has come to the Native Americans. I like that political power. Not only was it good news that they began to actually treat the Indians with respect and people got to, work less and still live a decent living, but also it was just nice political power. Well, now the feds is about to go down. And I'm gonna wait a while to take the next one. Because I want to reintegrate like just the South Atlantic at least. Stone Mountain, Georgia. Within the deep south in Stone Mountain lies a massive bas-relief carving of three Confederate figures: Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee, and Stonewall Jackson. The site was also the rebirth of the Ku Klux Klan. Many wish to remove such a blight, especially as other monuments to the Confederacy are torn down. However, people are divided about what to do about the relief. Some believe that it should be destroyed, others believe that it should be transformed to tell the history of American slavery before the Revolution. Others say it should tell the history of the destroy the relief carving. The relief shall show the history of slavery. The relief shall show the history of the Revolution. Trial of the old government. With the Revolution over, the time has come to deal with those that fought against us. The trial of the politicians and officers that served the old United States government has long become, but here it is. The question: what shall the courts rule against the reactionaries? Give mercy, punish their leaners, no leniency for reactions. Punish their leaders. It was just Federalists. They just fought to remember what they knew. They fought to defend what they knew as the United States. They are not directly at fault for that. Now, someone who I will not be quite as lenient with is coming up next. You I'm not gonna go easy on. This was after all a huge transgression. How hard can it be to take down fucking Tehran? You just need to seize Tehran, then you've won. German embargo, okay. Educate the masses. Mechanization. And these dudes. You have about 150 divisions. These have about 12 to 29. And 0 manpower with service by requirement. Expand the Ostwall. Well, okay, they've all been used now. I don't need that much rubber. I'll spend it instead on chromium. There we go, which will then go to build my super heavy dreadnoughts. Which shall go straight to my navy. We have one armored cruiser, then with loads of interwar cruisers and loads of submarines. Though only very few of them seem to have seen active combat. You have sunk a destroyer. You sunk a destroyer. You sunk 2 destroyers. You sunk 3 destroyers. But now we have an armored cruiser. Let's actually look at these two compared. First of all, manpower requirement. Improved armored couriers requires way more men. Okay, they're slower, they have less range, they have less evasion, they have the same orc, they have much more HP, they have less reliability, they use a bit more supply, much more firepower, no torpedo, bit of depth charge, much more armored, much more piercing, fire range is a bit shorter, short bombardment better, anti-aircraft is worse. They use more port, they have more surface visibility, they have less surface detection, they have less sub detection. I've cancelled that in, that's fine. Don't really need that much Lend-Lease anymore anyway, so. Americans artist conquerors. Avant-garde art of the revolution. Good. Six divisions. Montana again, they should be deployed there. almost got the entire front line with a hole there. That's one. And 2 holes. Of course only once. You cannot train because you have 0 manpower. Well, at least I soon can reintegrate this area. The southern part of the East Coast. Or the rest of the East Coast. Well, I shall end the episode here with Dawn drawing on a new America. The war in Europe have broken out. Russia seems to be a fucking imbecile. And the common and us already preparing to invade the Commonwealth. The trials, the America First is coming up. And we can only see what the future may hold. See you next time, guys. Viva la revolution. Bye.